What's going on, fight fans? This is Capital Combat. The name says it all. My name is Rob Jarrell, and I rewatched one of the fights from last night. We had Roma Chocolatito Gonzales versus Srisaket Rungsivai. Thai name. I don't like messing up names, but I'm going to attempt it. If you are Thai and watching this, I apologize. The fight was interesting. Before all the stands and everything, come out and say what they got to say, I thought Chocolatito did enough to win the fight. It was a close fight. It just depends on what you were looking at. But I think as the fight wore on, he got started, he got warmed up, and he started reeling off those combinations. And if you notice Chocolatito, the way he fights always on his front foot. So when you think you're out of range, he not lunges, but he can push off and get to you with that extra long right hand or a jab that you might think you're out of the way of. It's ingenious. It works for him. But this fight was at 115 against a guy who is very tough, from Thailand. If you know anything about the Asian fighters, and he does because he did train in Japan. And he's part of Taiken if you're unaware. But they're very tough, and you literally have to beat them into submission. Just simply outboxing them is not enough. They're going to keep coming. Some of them hit harder than the other ones. The ones that don't hit as hard throw a lot of punches. This guy just happened to hit hard and throw a lot of punches. And that worked for him. And that worked for us as the fans because he knocked Chocolatito down, got that extra point up, and was winning some early rounds. But as you see, Chocolatito, even with the accidental headbutt, excuse me, he was fighting through it. And he's tough. I think that created a sense of urgency to fight through the blood, and it was 2 cuts by the end of the fight. And I thought the dude Rungsivai did well, but he was fighting more so in the pocket and close off his back foot. Yeah, he would go forward, but he would kind of stand straight back or almost have to rely being on that back foot. And he fought out of a southpaw stance, and he does this thing that Manny Pacquiao has done, a lot of other left-handed boxers have done, which is basically, he would step, and your lead foot should be on the outside of someone who is orthodox, or vice versa, orthodox versus southpaw. He would step in, and I think that caught Chocolatito off guard. Now, he didn't have great footwork, but he got the job done. I just thought that Chocolatito was landing sharper, harder punches. And the good thing about him is he doesn't just let you escape with 1 or 2 punches. He throws them in combinations. He stands in the pocket. While he is there to be hit, a lot of blows are very glancing off the gloves, the shoulders, the elbows. So he can be hit, but not all of them are going to have the effect that you want. While he definitely places his shots much better. I thought personally he had the volume advantage, but maybe not. I thought he did enough to win. Srisaket, Rungsivai, he did throw some good shots to the body. He was able to catch Chocolatito at times, but he didn't do it at the same clip, and he didn't connect at the same clip. I have to look at it again. I have to look at, I would love to see an explanation of how they figured that he won that fight. Because I'm not of the ilk that says you have to go and take a belt from a champion. I think you just have to outperform the fighter in front of you. You don't have to take a belt. You have to get the win. You have to take the win. The belt should have no bearing on the course of the fight just because he's a champion. A good referee and good judges are familiar with the fighters. They watch their fights. They know what to look for, know what he does well, what he doesn't do well, that kind of thing, so they can, as a referee, mitigate what the problems that they cause. Because Rungsivai got a point taken away from him for, if I'm not mistaken, it was a purposeful headbutt or trying to headbutt. or guys that push off too much. And they probably could have took a point from Chocolatito because he would literally extend his arms and push Rungsivai off. And if you don't know Steve Willis is a damn good ref. He had firm control of this fight. He's entertaining, as you all know. I just don't think Rungsivai won this fight, and it kind of makes Chocolatito look bad in the sense that they took this fight away from him. Why? I don't know. He was the A side. Shit happens. That's all we can say. We've seen just as bad, if not worse, decisions and judgments in the past. I think he's going to come back. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rematch. My biggest concern for Chocolatito is he can get into action fights. We all enjoy action fights. Harold Letterman is one of those people, and also not Larry Merchant, the other fool that's part of the commentating team. They love action fights. Hell, I love action fights. I love to see guys go toe-to-toe. But at 115 pounds, you wonder, can he do that against guys, because this is a larger weight for him, against the Naoya Inoue's, who hits hard and is physically bigger, just like this guy, Rungsivai was bigger. And is he going to keep moving up? Is he going to go to 118? Is he going to go to 122? And in doing so, he's going to fight guys who, again, his power is not going to affect in the same way. While I think he was able to hurt Rungsivai, I don't think he was ever in danger of being gotten out of there. I really don't. I just don't think Chocolatito had enough firepower, even with those punches that he landed, to get Rungsivai out of there. And if he's moving up, he's going to have to find a strength and conditioning coach or someone that can help bring that power and activity up. Not only that, but how much more punishment can he take? He's, in his last fight versus Quadras, faced both eyes swollen. This one he caught the headbutt, but he had some swelling, and there was a second cut. And that says a lot. Is how well not only can you dish out and make them feel whatever damage that you cause, but how well you can take damage from bigger guys. And because of the style, most times when you move up, you want to be able to avoid as much punishment as possible. You may be able to take a punch at 112 or 117, but once you get into 120, can you take that same punch from bigger guys who are just as fast, if not faster? So it's gonna be interesting. And he doesn't really have that fast twitch fiber body. He's strong. I think he's very explosive. But will he be able to carry any weight any higher if he decides to go higher? So that's what I have to say about that. Again, I thought he won. He looked good doing it to an extent. I just think his offense is his best defense, and he has very subtle defensive moves. If you have any questions or you want to make any comments, again, keep it respectful. We all saw the same fight. We all think differently about the fight. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know, you can find us on Google+, Instagram. We're on Twitter now, Facebook. Just hit us up. And until next time, peace.
Russia, this is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that.